I remember the first set I crewed on, and honestly, looking back, I felt pretty overwhelmed by all the set lingo. It can sometimes sound like a foreign language if you've never heard it before. So before jumping into the different lectures we offer, we wanted to kick off everything with a breakdown of 30 of the most common phrases and expressions that are used on set. This will serve as a visual glossary for the rest of the course. So with that, let's dive right in. Call sheet. A call sheet is a document you'll receive before the day of your shoot, with the address of the location, the scenes that are going to be shot that day, and a list of all the crew that will be working. Always try to reference this and double check to make sure you and all of your crew that you are bringing on there. I've been on countless shoots where they mess up the call sheet and my second AC or my gaffer, they sent it to the wrong email or they had the wrong person on. So just always double check not only your own call time, but to make sure that your people are on there as well. Call time. This is the time on the call sheet that lets you know when you are supposed to arrive. This may be earlier or later than other departments, so always check. Pre-call. Sometimes larger lighting setups will require a pre-call to set up. This is often for G&E and art department, but if general crew call say was 8 a.m., pre-call could be, as early as 6 a.m., giving that department who got the pre-call a 2-hour head start before everyone else arrives. Shooting call. Your call time is when you are required to arrive on set. The shooting call is the time that you're scheduled to get the first shot off. So if general crew call was 8 a.m., the shooting call could be 9:30. That means you are expected to have the camera fully built and the lighting fully set to be rolling a take at 9:30 a.m. Safety meeting. Some assistant directors will start the day off with a group huddle to go over any location rules, safety concerns, and basically just touch on important info for the day. First team. The actors on set sometimes are referred to as first team. An assistant director may call out to, the different department heads, announcing first team walking on to let everyone know that the actors are heading to set. This is helpful as a DP because then I can inform my crew to finish up anything they might be doing and begin clearing out so we can start shooting. Audition. Sometimes rigging something for a shot can take 5 to 10 minutes to get it properly set up. And a way to see if you like something before going through all of those efforts to lock it into place would be auditioning it. If you were shooting outside, for instance, and you wanted to see what a bounce board would look like, before going through all the motions to get the stands and the sandbags, you could have someone audition it by holding it to see what it would look like. Buy it. The follow-up to auditioning something is buying it. Say that person was auditioning that bounce board and you like how it looks, you would say, yeah, I'll buy that, which would mean that the grip department or whatever you were auditioning is going to go through the motions to officially lock it in. 86. This would be said when you want to cancel or remove something. For example, you could say 86 that light, and that would mean get rid of that light. Waste it. The term waste it is often used when you're lighting a scene and you want to see what a light looks like when it's panned off. There are certain lights that have a reset time. For instance, an HMI, if you turned it off, actually takes about 5 to 10 minutes to turn back on. And there's moments where you just quickly want to see what the light looks like, panned off and panned on. So a quick way of communicating that to your lighting crew would be saying, can we waste that light? What's your 20? This is something you would say into your walkie when you are looking for someone. For instance, you could say, I can't find Tom. What's his 20? Flying in. This is just a way of saying you or something is en route to set. As a crew member, you could say, I'm flying in, if someone was asking for you. But this could also be used as a way to communicate a piece of gear that you need to be brought to set. For example, you could say, could we fly an apple box in for the actor? On the day. This is a phrase used to convey something that needs to happen before rolling a take. At the beginning of the day, I'll usually walk through with my lighting crew and tell my gaffer, for instance, on the day, I'm gonna need an HMI coming through that window. And that basically is conveying that when we go for the shot, I would like this thing to be happening. So on the day just means on the take. Split the difference. When making adjustments to something on set, as a DP, I may call out split the difference if I like the adjustments being made but want to meet in the middle. Let me elaborate. If a light was, say, at 100% brightness and the gaffer was dimming the light down to, say, 50% brightness, saying split the difference would let the gaffer know that I want the light to be somewhere in the middle. So in this example, 75% brightness. Woof. I know you must be thinking, and yes, this is actually a film phrase that people say on set. Yelling stop across the set at the top of your lungs can honestly freak a lot of people out. So when you're making lighting adjustments and you want the crew member to stop right there and lock it in, you would just say woof. An example would be, say a grip is raising a stand. The moment it's in the perfect spot, you would say woof to let them know to stop lifting the stand. Stick up and stick down. This phrase is in reference to the height of stands. If you want to raise a light that's on a stand, you would say, could we stick that up? And the same for sticking it down. Slow it down. Slow it down is used to convey bringing down a light's intensity. If your key light was, say, too bright, you could tell your gaffer, hey, can we slow that down? Lamp left and lamp right. This is a phrase you would call out when communicating with your G&E team in regards to a light's direction. For example, you could say, can we pan that light lamp left? The only thing to note is the left and right are actually from the direction of the person standing at the base of the light. So if you were looking at the light, lamp left and lamp right would be inverted. We actually have a section dedicated to this later in the course, so if this is a little confusing, don't worry. Points. This is often announced by crew members carrying something very heavy or hot as they round a tight corner in a house. This is said out of safety so crew members don't blindly round a corner and collide with each other. Flip the world. If you are looking into one corner of a room or location for, say, an actor's piece of coverage, and you know you need to flip and look around the other way to film the other actor's coverage, this would be flipping the world. New deal. A first AD will announce this after completing a scene, letting all departments know that we are good to move on to the next scene. Hollywood. Sometimes when you are in a rush on set and you need something to be held temporarily for a take, you could ask for someone to Hollywood it, which would imply a crew member to hold it for the shot. So for example, you could say on set, can you Hollywood that bounce board for this take? Because sometimes you might be losing sunlight or you don't have the time to wait for the stand and all the sandbags to arrive, so this is a temporary quick fix. Skin a frame. Skinning is the process of adhering a gel or a diffusion to a frame. Splashing. This is a phrase said out of safety. Usually at wrap, the grip department will wrap out any heavy sandbags or grip items by dropping them from the second story, just to make wrap out a little easier. So by saying splashing, this just lets any crew members who might be below to essentially watch out. Striking. This is often said as a common courtesy when turning off or on a film light. Some film lights are very bright, so by announcing this gives your talent or any other crew members a moment to look away so they don't get blinded. Crossing. You say this if you need to cross in front of the camera while everything is still being set up. As a DP, you probably won't be crossing your own frame, but other crew members may say this as they walk across the set. Soft wrap. If you are shooting at the same location the next day, you might have the option to soft wrap. which would imply you could leave most of the gear in place and walk away to pick up right again the next day. You still might want to leave the location clean, so obviously bringing any lights that were outside or coil up any stingers, that's still pretty much recommended. But for the most part, a soft wrap is much easier because you don't have to break everything down. Hard out. You might hear the phrase hard out called out on set when talking about a strict, non-negotiable time constraint, either regarding an actor or a location. So for example, you could hear this sentence on set: "Our main actor has a hard out at 2 p.m., which would just imply that that actor has to be leaving at 2 p.m. Taillights. The term taillights implies the moment you leave. Some locations have strict rules about 12-hour taillights, meaning that if they don't see you leaving right at the 12-hour mark, they might charge you for an extra hour. Martini shot. This is the last shot of the day. Wrap. Much like it sounds when you hear, "That's a wrap," that means the final shot has been finished and now it's time to load out.